But when I look back at 23, 24-year-old Jack there, you know, I feel the energy. I feel the, even if I take a pause in my speech right now, there's a drama to that kid that I still, there's a flair or something, there's a hyperness, I still have it. It's always going to be. I think that energy is going to be with me. And I didn't really mind it then on camera, but I've definitely had phases in life where I didn't like who I was or how I conveyed myself. And it's been a process to, you know, just be okay with that. It lets me be okay with other people in a much better way too. You know, so relationships of all kinds really open up when, as I have just kind of had more self-acceptance. So the film was good for that too, for me to see that. I think first and foremost is freedom, that you're not in a cubicle. You're not on camera, though nowadays, way more so, you know. There was a lot less immediate accountability, especially if you didn't have a walkie-talkie and you're working off a pager. All you had to do was have a reason for why you might have been a little late on something, and there was nothing that could be done about it. But so there was a freedom. And then there was also, at least in San Francisco, you know, check that. In Chicago as well, certainly anywhere. There was a sense that having a few beers on the job or smoking a joint while working was condoned by your peers, at the very least. In some senses, one could feel like it was almost expected of us too, by certain types, you know, that was part of our being free, wild messenger. It's kind of a hokey thing, but when I was a courier in New York, there was a time where I changed everything. You know, I stopped drinking. I wanted to live a more a safer life, but I loved the job. You know, I needed to just calm down. Things were getting pretty real, and you know, the people I was associating with, new friends and people I was meeting, like there was all these kinds of practices of spiritual natures, and my being open to it. And I wanted to try to find something that related directly to my identity as a bike messenger in New York, but that had something to do with that rhythm and that force and that moving with the speed of things and being part of. And, you know, no longer drinking. While drinking for 12, 13 years on the job, I developed all these kind of blindfolded skills, automatic responses, muscle memory. And when I had the blindfold of being buzzed off and suddenly had clarity, all those senses were enhanced, but not to a frightening level. Like it all fit in better. And I could relax in a way I never realized possible before. I do think that anyone that is willing to look back at their past, whether they have video archive footage of it or not, or writings or journals, or just like an hour to reflect, can look back on elements and aspects of their development that were difficult, painful, or beautiful, that they thought were going to last a long time and that didn't, or that they thought they were just doing for a couple years that ended up being a 23-year career, you know.